Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. Today we're going to be looking at another Toybiz figure. This is Ghost Rider from Toybiz. This figure was released in 1996. This figure, it actually kind of has like they call it an exploding chest. It's not like the previous one that I actually reviewed where the whole body kind of exploded and stuff like that. This one you kind of press a button. I'll show you when it comes back around in the back. There's a button back here. There's actually kind of three little pegs back here, but I do want to say one of them is actually a button where you press it and the chest kind of pops out. It's not exploding though, and it also does come with some glow in the dark effects, which on the figure itself, the only glow in the dark effect that it has is its skull, the head. Other than that, I think the accessories it comes with are glow in the dark. So now that we've gotten the great 360 view of the figure, what we're going to do now is take the figure off the turntable and take a look at everything that the figure comes with. Alrighty everyone, so this is it. This is everything that the figure comes with. Considering it's a Toybiz and it was released in 1996, I do want to say it does come with some nice stuff. I mean, like the previous one, the one I reviewed first of the Toybiz Ghost Riders, it did also come with a custom little comic book here, and the other one I think only had like a little flame shield. This one actually came with so it actually came with 3 different parts, but this thing is just so this chain is a separate piece and this chain is a separate piece. Putting it on here it's not too hard, but it's really kind of fragile. This thing this thing's kind of rubberish plastic. It's not rubber, it's plastic, but it's really soft, and these things are actually hard plastic. And so putting it on here back and forth, I'm afraid I'm gonna break it, considering it's an old figure. So I do want to let you know that this is actually 3 pieces, 3 individual pieces. When they first came, they were actually completely separate, and I put them together. I just don't want to take them apart. But as you can see, it's his belt. It goes around his waist, and after once it's around his waist, these chains are around. You can put them on his back. That's what those pegs are for, is put these on his back, or you can he can hold on to them with his hands, which I will display later on. But overall, I mean, as far as details, there's really no details because there's no paint application. It's just casted plastic, hard plastic and soft plastic, and they gave it that glow in the dark effect as well. So I mean, there's really no detail to it. I mean, it's just kind of a hook of plastic, some fake plastic chain looking thing, and then soft plastic with spikes. That's all it really comes down to. There's really no detail, no paint application, nothing to it. So I can't really say much about this. I do like it though. I do like that in the glow in the dark, in the dark, that you can see the chains and the belt and his head. But I don't know, I think they could have put in a little bit more detail. Maybe right here, put some detail on it, maybe where he holds the chains, maybe make the chains glow in the dark but not these. I don't know, they could have done something a little bit different, but that's what we got. So as far as the comic book, sorry about that, sometimes it's hard to pick up. As far as the comic book is concerned, it's not too bad of a comic book, honestly. I mean, it's small. The original Ghost Rider returns. It's only a couple pages like last time. It's the first page, 2 pages in between, and the last page. So all in all, you got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 pages of some Ghost Rider, and it's actually very, really nicely detailed with a lot of context in it. As you can see here, you can see there's a lot of context into it. I actually kind of appreciate that. Now with my figures, with this one, I just have him standing at a museum pose with my other figures. There's that, and then there's at the back of it. I will not be reviewing all these figures. I don't have all of them. I'm not a big fan of like the bike ones. These ones in particular, because it's kind of like the ripcord where you have to, like, it comes with like a plastic thing where you actually put it into the back of the bike, and then you rip it and it goes it goes flying. But yeah, as far as these, I do have a few Ghost Rider bikes, but they're not from Toybiz and or from the 1996. So yeah, it comes with that. Let's set that down. This is everything that the figure comes with. So what we're gonna do next is get the figure and take a closer look. Alrighty folks, so here he is, Ghost Rider. So right now what I'm going to do is get this camera, kind of pull it back a little bit, kind of put it up and kind of point it down, and I'm going to get the figure and bring him up close. You can see him a little bit better. There you go. I know he looked blurry because of the lens that I have on here. Makes stuff look blurry when it's kind of further away, and then when you get him up close you see a little detail a little bit better. But as you can see here, the detail on, we'll go from top to bottom. He does have the same, I guess you can say, skull as the previous one, where it's pretty much has that glow in the dark thing, so it's not really detailed at all. I mean, you do have the red eyes, you got the black, where the nose is supposed to be, and then the jaw, and that's about, where the teeth. As far as the flames go, I think this one has a little bit more flames than the other one does. We'll do a comparison a little bit later on in the video, but I know this one has a flame back here in this one, and I don't think the last one that we did had the flames up here, but they're both the same exact flames pretty much. I mean, you got the yellow and the orange, and that's pretty much what makes up the flames. I think on the other one though, his jacket's actually blue. He has a traditional blue with kind of like the square in the middle of his chest. So I suppose that this one is actually a black jacket with the spikes up here. And I do want to say that these are probably not. I'll show you what I'm talking about later. Actually, I'll probably bring it in now. I won't put the belt on, but as far as when I was looking at this, I always have him holding on to the chains like so, but I don't know if these can really hold on to them. They're like really flimsy. Like, you see that? Like, here, let me try again. I'm sorry about that. I mean, maybe, no, I guess they're just kind of meant to hang back there, but they're not going to hold on their back, that good. So I don't really have the chains back there. I have him holding on to them. So anyway, so yeah, so as far as the exploding part of his chest that I was talking about, these, I don't know, like you would think they're on a hinge, but you would think it would be like a hinge that's like stuck on there, but it's not. So what I mean by that, so for example, I'm going to press the back of this button right here, or I'm sorry, on the back, his button on the back, on his back, and it goes like this. As you can see kind of like his chest. Here we go. Let me get it better. There you go. You can see the flames. You can see his chest. That's cool because it kind of explodes forward. You see that? That's actually cool. But what I was talking about with the hinge is as these come out kind of easy. I just kind of popped it off. They're not stuck on there. You can see it. You can see the hinge move. I would actually think that I would have a better hinge, but you know what? Maybe I can just super glue it and it never comes off. So that's something that I don't really like about this figure in particular. But overall, I think it's a good idea. It's a great idea, a good concept that they came out where the exploding chest forward. So as far as his arms go, I mean, you got the jacket and you got the flames on the gloves. That's actually pretty cool. It's coming from the gloves upward, and I actually kind of really appreciate that. That's actually a little bit more detail than we got in the previous figure. This one has more flames on him, which I kind of actually like a little bit more. Both arms are the same, so I'm not going to go over both arms. As far as his pants go, he's wearing, different color pants as the previous one. These are gray. You got the gray boots as well, darker gray boots. The flames effect from from his feet coming from the ankle up, and he has one right here, which is, it's cool that they didn't really make him completely symmetrical, where this one's exactly the opposite and the same on this side, and they kind of give him that little extra you know what I mean, like the little oomph right there to make it kind of stand out and not make it so symmetrical, and I like that. And there's the bottom of his foot, or his feet, not his foot, just his feet in general. So that's a figure in general right there. Really basic figure, being a 1996 figure. Can't complain too much about that. It's a great looking figure. It's a great Ghost Rider figure. So what we're going to do next is go over his articulation. Alrighty, everyone, so going over to this figure's articulation, I'm going to bring him up close up here. Okay, so as far as articulation goes, I do believe his head does spin with the flame at a 360, but also he has kind of like this, like you can almost move the flame around him, like around his neck. Sorry about that, that piece always comes off. So you can move the flame around and keep his head still, and I believe you can do the same with the inner one as well. I think it's just kind of like a pegged in type kind of scenario, and that's why you can move them. As far as his, let's put this back there. Okay, there we go. Sorry, there we go. Yeah, so as far as his arm is concerned, he does a 360 turn at the arm. There's obviously no butterfly movement there. They started doing that with you know, more recent figures, not from back in the day. He does have a single bend at the elbow. And then with this one, what I've been noticing, I don't know if actually the other one had it or not. I'll have to take a look. But this one does have movement at the wrist. Most figures from back in the day did not have that, so I'm kind of surprised this one does, and I'm kind of like, okay, I appreciate that. This one does have the exploding chest, so we can, I guess, call that articulation as well. As far as his waist, there goes his chest again. I'm just going to leave his chest off for now until I finish the articulation, because it's going to keep popping off. As far as his waist goes, there's no movement at the waist, no movement at the torso except from his chest. As far as his legs goes, his legs, this is actually another thing that I was actually kind of like, okay, I can appreciate that they did that. Most Toybiz figures did not do this. They only had the simple forward, goes forward to about there, and it goes back to about there. What I can appreciate from this figure, that it goes this way, all the way up. This guy can do the full-on splits and past him. So I can really appreciate that from, you know, from this figure, and they did that. He does have a single bend at the knee as well, so he only has that 90, and he has no other movement whatsoever at the ankles, toes, or nothing like that. Let's put this chest piece back on him again. This is the only thing I don't like about this figure, is that this piece kind of always falls off from any little type of movement, because it's actually overlapped this other piece, so it doesn't really stick on there that well. So there he is. So what we're going to do next is bring out the other figures and do some comparisons. Alrighty, folks, so here is the Ghost Rider with the exploding chest. You know, released in 1996. To bring out the only toy I'm doing a comparison with so far, because I haven't done any reviews on any previous Ghost Riders. So to bring out the only other Ghost Rider I've reviewed so far, which is also a Toybiz, here he is. This is also a Toybiz Ghost Rider. I believe this one was released in 1996 as well, if I'm not mistaken. And this one has the exploding body, where when you press the button, his head comes off, the arms come off, and the torso detaches from the bottom part. So these two, they look great together. Actually, let's put them a little bit closer here. And actually, before I continue, I do want to check something. Oh, this one does it. Okay. So, yeah. So, looking at these two, let me put them together and get a little bit better close-up. So, kind of looking at these two. So, the first thing I did check was, because I was actually checking this one, his wrist moves. This one, actually, his wrist moves as well. So, yeah, the only difference between these two is, obviously, this one's wearing all the blue, and this one's wearing the black with the gray. I do want to say the head sculpts are almost the same, but if you kind of look at them, they're not. I do want to say maybe just because they're sculpted a little bit different, coming off of the print. What I mean by that, let's see if you can get a good look. It's a little bit different than this one. Like I did say though previously, is this one does have flames on the skull itself. It has the yellow, the orange, and then the flames on the skull. And this one, I actually didn't know this, but this one, the flame is actually more of a red color back here, and then it's yellow, and then there's no flames on the skull itself. So the actual flames are actually completely different, and I didn't know that. So that's a very that's good. That's good that they actually, you know, didn't make them completely the same. They made them a little bit different. This one has more of like a yellow first and then orange. This one has more of an orange first, then yellow, and I think that actually goes good with the black. I don't know. I think maybe they could have did a variant where they actually put the orange and then the yellow to see how it looked. I mean, like this. No. I guess they couldn't. I guess it really. Let's put it this way. Let's put it a little closer. If you kind of get that look where, here, let's go like this. If you get this and you kind of put this towards it, I think the yellow sticks out better than the orange does, and I think that's why they went with the yellow before the orange. So I like that. I like that. I like that the variants they have with the Ghost Riders back in the day. So alrighty, folks. So here he is, Ghost Rider from Toybiz, released in 1996 with the exploding or popping out chest. If you guys like the video, please like and share it. If you guys have any questions, anything positive, anything negative, anything at all to say, please comment it down below. If you haven't already, please subscribe. Also, I do ask, please, if you guys watch the videos, please watch them all the way through. It helps with YouTube circulating the videos more, instead of not, with the whole algorithm with YouTube. I also do have an Instagram. The link's down in the description below if you want to get a sneak peek before YouTube. Please give me a follow. That being said, if you guys have any, like I said, anything to say, please leave them in the comments. And that being said, we'll see you on the next one. Take care.